This is The Wire for 2330 Zulu, September 16th, 2024. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2230. Bottom line up front. Details of second Trump shooting remain suspicious. Gas pipeline explodes in Texas. On the home front, in Florida, the suspect who attempted to assassinate Donald Trump yesterday afternoon has been identified as Ryan Wesley Ruth, an activist heavily involved in the Ukrainian war as an advocate for Western volunteers. All of the suspect's social media accounts have been purged from existence, likely in response to federal censorship requests. In Texas, this afternoon, a natural gas pipeline exploded in La Porte following a motor vehicle accident that resulted in a valve being struck, causing a substantial fire. Local evacuations were reported due to the intensity of the fire, however, no injuries have been reported by local media. Analysts comment. The circumstances leading up to the initial accident are unclear. Local authorities have not stated whether or not this was indeed an accident or the result of a malign actor. Analyst comments for this wire. As one might expect, the details regarding the second Trump assassination attempt remain largely unconfirmed. However, considering the importance and significance of current events, some analytical leeway is to be expected. As such, the details that have been released, or mostly discovered on social media, are even more suspicious than the first attempt. However, as the suspect is still alive for the time being, the chances for follow-on information remain more likely than the previous attempt. The suspect having a very large online presence, many contacts within government agencies due to his highly suspect work to recruit volunteers for Ukraine, and his highly documented activist work all give a much more complex picture than the previous effort to target Trump. If the suspect remains alive, more information is likely to become available to the public in due time. However, this potential remains uncertain. Regarding the U.S. Secret Service response, even fewer details have been released. Considering the suspect does not appear to have successfully used his weapon, many might believe the Secret Service's actions to be a success. However, one must remember that close protection details are usually the last line of defense for a protectee. Considering the zero-fail nature of the U.S. Secret Service, if any malign actor is even able to get within rifle range of the protectee in the first place, this would be a failure of the highest order. Even more so if the potential shooter remained alive to egress from the area. It is not clear how the suspect knew that Trump would be playing golf at that time and place, nor is it known how the suspect would be able to occupy a position that allowed for a comparatively high chance of success. How or if the suspect knew that Trump was only 1 or 2 holes away is also not clear, with this detail alone causing questions of whether or not the suspect had prior knowledge of Trump's movement. However, if the suspect had laid an ambush site and waited for Trump to make his way around the course, this could have been the reason for why the suspect was able to get well within rifle range of Trump. Many may liken this to be another cascading series of failures among the U.S. Secret Service, when the more specific details of the engagement are factored in. The suspect was able to know where Trump was with shocking accuracy, had time to conceal himself in the foliage along a high-traffic roadway that is hard to approach without being spotted, and construct a fighting position that included at least 2 homemade bulletproof panels for protection. One major unknown detail pertains to how long the suspect remained in his hide site at the perimeter fence before being spotted and engaged. The construction of a hasty fighting position clearly indicates the suspect had vastly more time on his hands than he needed to be operationally effective. If Trump had played a little faster or slower, the outcome might have been different. The U.S. Secret Service claimed that the would-be shooter never had line of sight to Trump, which may be technically true. However, if the suspect was waiting for Trump to make his way around the course, this factual statement easily loses value because Trump could have been within the shooter's line of sight at a later time, which never arrived due to the engagement. Having already been scrutinized from their grossly negligent and suspicious responses during the Butler shooting, if the U.S. Secret Service is indeed attempting to protect Trump, one might imagine a higher profile protection posture being adopted, especially when Trump is located at sites that he is well known to frequent routinely, conducting activities that involve him obviously not wearing body armor, and his close protection detail remaining physically farther from him than at other sites, all on terrain that offers exceptional advantages for a would-be sniper. Additionally, initial media reports indicate that the only reason the suspect was caught relatively quickly was due to a bystander witnessing the suspect flee from the site, taking a picture of his license plate in the process. Automated license plate readers on I-95 were used to identify the suspect after he had successfully gotten away. Had this bystander not been as situationally aware or as vigilant, a nationwide manhunt could have very well been underway right now. In short, the vulnerabilities displayed by the U.S. Secret Service during the second shooting strongly indicate that clearly not enough has been done to mitigate the deficiencies identified following the first shooting. Some efforts have been undertaken to plus up Trump's security, but a second incident being too close for comfort leaves many questions. The U.S. Secret Service also failing in nearly the same ways as the first shooting incident also cannot be dismissed. Considering all of the above factors, the likelihood of a second shooter being as capable as he was, even though the second attack was far less successful than the first, is concerning to the point of being extremely suspicious. This concludes The Wire for 2330 Zulu, September 16th, 2024.